Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for joining us here once again on Instagram for another Waldorf Wine Wednesday. Hey, I'm Christian LaRoche, sales manager for Waldorf Wine Group here in British Columbia, and I'm so glad you could join us here once again on Instagram. Waldorf Wine Wednesday, as the name implies, we do this every Wednesday, and we started doing this way back in May of 2020. It was our way of pivoting online at the beginning of the pandemic and bringing Waldorf Wine Group content to Instagram, and kind of fell into it by accident, to be honest with you, but we've been doing it ever since. Hey, over 200 videos later, and I still hate the sound of my voice. But for what it is it's a clearinghouse of all things Waldorf Wine Group. We look at wines that we currently have in the market. We try samples of wines that we're thinking of bringing into the market. We'll talk about promos we're having, visiting winemakers, wineries, any events that might be going on. And so I invite you, if you haven't done so already, please do follow us. We'd love to have you here. We've got some very, very good friends and dedicated followers. I see our good friend David Lancelot. Good to see you, David. I'm really glad you could join us here. Yeah, so we're a week out before Christmas. Holy cow, where did the year go? It's blown by so quick, but we're all probably winding down some of our work schedules and probably transitioning more into downtime, family time, social obligation time. So we all need some wine to drink. My running joke, you can't choose your family, but you can choose your wine. But that being said, yeah, lots of, it's a festive time of year, for a lot of folks, whatever you're celebrating, or maybe you're just relaxing, some downtime off of work. But we're looking at some wines that, I'd love to be drinking this wine right now, to be honest with you. It's a wine that we are just so proud to be able to bring these wines in. These are, this is absolutely one of the finest wine growers in the world today. Absolutely the best wine grower in the Nahe region of Germany. And we've been bringing these wines into British Columbia and Alberta for a while now. We're just so honored to be able to represent this winery. Let's up the camera and I'll show you what we're trying. We are back in the Nahe region of Germany with, Donnhoff. We're going to hassle the Hoff tonight. Yeah. This is the Niederhauser Klamm vineyard. This is the Riesling Kabinett from the 2022 vintage. This is currently available here in British Columbia. It came in not too long ago. It's available here as a restricted speculative product. So that means it's only available at private wine shops and better restaurants. We've had a few cases going out already, and we've got a couple still left in the warehouse if you're interested, along with a few other wines too. We've got some estate Riesling Trocken. We've got some Weissburgunder. We've got some Spätlese. A couple of cases here and there, but these are very, very, very highly sought after wines. We get generally an allocation each year. A little bit has gone to the BCLDB signature stores. We got a small amount of the Niederhauser Hermannshohl Auslese Gold Cap in half bottles a little while ago. Wow, yeah, pretty crazy wines. Donnhoff is as is usual with a lot of our German estates. It's a family-owned winery tracing its roots back for quite a while. In the case of the Donnhoff family, at least 250 years. I believe the records go back to about 1761. They're based in Oberhausen in the Nahe region. That's about 95 kilometers southwest of Frankfurt. The Nahe region, it's a little bit different. It's a bit off the beaten path from the Rhine River, especially from, the more touristy Rheingau region. And we'll bring that up on the Google Earth map in a little while. But where the Rhine River heads north and starts to bend west in the Rheingau, it can get fairly busy there. So, southwest, we're talking a very pastoral countryside, far removed from the hustle and bustle. And it's an idyllic place. The Donnhoff family started up basically running a farm, raising cattle, growing vegetables, and growing grapes for many, many years. And the estate itself for wine traces its history going back to the 1920s with Herman Donnhoff, who established the winery back in the 1920s. And then he passed the winery on to his son, Herman Jr., who ran it for many years. And then Helmut Donnhoff took over in 1966. And even as in 1971, they were still, growing grapes, and they had 4 hectares of vineyards, and they still had quite a bit of farmland as well that was rented out. But basically, they sold the farmland and concentrated only on being a winery. And since then, the winery's grown with vineyard acquisitions here and there. And today, in 2007, Helmut's son, Cornelius Donnhoff, came on board. He had been doing his studies, and he'd been working abroad as well, gaining experience. And he came back home to the family estate and took over in 2007. Pardon me. And currently, they are farming 28 hectares, including 10 different Grand Cru sites. That's amazing. It includes the majority of the Niederhauser Hermannshohl vineyard and the Oberhauser Bruck monopole vineyard. Now, the estate is also certified fair and green sustainable. Really, some of the most transparent wines, and they've got a really incredible variety of soils there: sandstone, slate, volcanic soil, porphyry, just fabulous wines across the board. They do have a little bit of everything: Weissburgunder, Grauburgunder. I mean, they're about 85% Riesling dominant, but fabulous wines. And like I say, we get a small allocation from them each year, so blink and you'll miss it. So if you're interested in any of the wines, I do invite you, drop me a DM me or drop me a line. You can email me at Christian@waldorfwine.com. That's Christian, KHRISTIAN @waldorfwine.com. As mentioned, we are back in the Nahe region. We are in the village of Niederhausen, and this is the Klamm vineyard. This is a Riesling Kabinett. So what this is a Qualitätswein mit Pratikat. So what this is a quality wine with special attributes. So it's an unsugared wine that has achieved a particular ripeness. From the hierarchy of this cabinet is the first. What they do is they'll pick the wines and leave some residual sugar, cut off the alcoholic fermentation a little bit early, and leave a bit of residual sugar in the wine. These tend to be sort of the lightest and prettiest wines, although they are very, very long-lived as well. You can keep these wines in a cool cellar easily for 20 years, no problem. But this wine clocks in at a whopping 8.5% alcohol. It's definitely got a little bit of residual sugar to it, fair bit of it. Don't have the exact figure, but I'm thinking this is probably hovering somewhere around 35, 40, maybe even 45 grams per liter residual sugar. But you don't taste it. The wine comes off sort of as medium sweet. And that's one of the things we find with German Riesling. A lot of people say, oh, German Riesling, they're so sweet. But they're not sweet. I mean, there's levels of sweetness. Sure, you can get up into full-blown botrytis-affected, super sweet dessert wines, ice wines, Trockenbeerenauslese, Beerenauslese, all that. But a cabinet is that sort of yin-yang between ripe fruit sweetness and that counterbalance of really super crisp, fresh, cleansing acidity as well. That once you swallow the wine, the acidity kicks in and cleanses your palate and readies you for whatever food you're having or for another sip of wine. And that's the beauty of it. Now, we love these wines. And the way I describe these wines to people is, think of it this way. You don't eat green strawberries. We're not talking dessert sweetness here. We're talking ripe fruit sweetness. So there's a difference between green strawberries and red strawberries. You drink it, you eat the fruit when it's ripe. Well, this wine is ripely fruity. And so yes, it has a little bit of sweetness that you'll notice right when you take the wine in. It'll hit right on the tip of your tongue is where you will notice the sweetness. Absolutely, David. That's exactly what it is. That yin yang it's that tension, and it's that beautiful tension. It's that pull in the mouth. And the other thing too is we talk about it too in the sense that we're just trying the wine here straight up. Whenever we do events or dinners or anything like that too, I always tell people, try the wine first. You'll get an impression of it on its own. But then when you partner with food, that food is always going to have that interaction with the wine itself. It's going to dry it down in your mouth as well too. When you partner it with food, man, I can hardly wait to have some of this. It smells so good. But that's the thing, you know. It's frustrating sometimes too. We will go to the BC Liquor Board when we're trying to sell them wine, and you know, their tasting room, it's like a laboratory, and you're there usually like it's a rainy Tuesday morning or something like that too, and you're tasting the wines and you're talking with the wine buyer and you're discussing things, and it's like, you know, none of the customers are going to be drinking wine this way. They're going to buy the bottle, they're going to take it home, they're going to have a glass of it while they're preparing the meal, and then they're going to have it with their meal. I mean, that's just the way it is, or on the couch, or with their friends, etc., what have you. But it's so funny how we try to sell wines under such clinical, sterile conditions sometimes too. But anyway, getting back to it, a cabinet, unsugared, it's the first level in that quality hierarchy. It's not necessarily a late pick. If you wait a little longer and pick riper, more late pick grapes, then that's when we're getting into Spätlese wines. If you're picking late picked selected bunches, that's an Auslese. If you're picking late picked selected bunches, and then you're starting to pick individual berries, that's a Birnen Auslese. And then if you wait even a little bit longer until those individual berries are affected by noble rot, that is a Trockenbeeren Auslese. So yeah, it can be a little bit intimidating, but it does make sense. I love these wines. To me, these are, you can drink them young for that, you know, that bright fruitiness and that baby fat and that playfulness. And then age them for a while, and they'll pick up so many layers of flavor. And what I love about it, these are wines that they're real examples of what I call that low alcohol, full flavor equation. And I love wines like these. Whenever we do wine tastings, it's always the German Riesling bottles that tend to empty out the quickest, because they're so easy drinking. That's also what makes them such wonderful selections. Hey, if you're running a restaurant, these are perfect for by the glass. Your customers can have a glass or two, and it doesn't hit them over the head with alcohol, like, say, you know, a high octane Viognier or a big oaky Chardonnay or something like that. So yeah, think about that too when you're doing that. Hey, if you're just joining us, flip the camera around. We're back in the Nahe region with the Neck Plus Ultra producer Cornelius Donnhoff. This is the Niederhauser Klamm Riesling Kabinett 2022 vintage. Complicated vintage, let me tell you. Not an easy year. This was actually a super duper, it was a very dry year, one of the driest years on record. And because of that, it's interesting. Cornelius took over the estate in 2007. And his father, Helmut Donnhoff, you know, back in the day, they were always chasing ripeness, trying to make sure they got enough sugar in the grapes. And so they'd wait and wait and wait. Cornelius did some studies in the southern hemisphere in warmer climates too, where they were making Rieslings. And of course, you want to preserve natural acidity in the wine. But in a year like 2022, it was so warm and so dry. People were thinking of picking early, but regions in Germany like the Nahe and the Mosel were really lucky because come late August, early September, they actually got some really, really well-timed rain that really helped start preserving the natural acidity, but it also helped with the grapes themselves. They had plenty of sugar ripeness, but the grapes themselves didn't have full phenomenological ripeness, so they got to wait a few extra weeks and then get back to what was almost like a normally timed harvest. So they were very, very lucky in that sense that nature cooperated with them. So I just love these wines. I find them so playful. I find the 2021s more monumental. And what I like about the 2022 vintages is, especially in the cabinet category, they're just so playful. Hey, Mr. Cheese, I see you there, Joe. Good to see you. I'm so glad you could join us. Joe Chaput, Les Amis de Fromage. Hey, if you're getting ready for the holidays, pay ye a visit to Les Amis de Fromage and stock up. That's the place to be, let me tell you. Anyway, yes, 2022 vintage, lovely and playful. I like to describe it. It's almost like a lot of these wines, especially at the cabinet level, and some of the estate wines, the young, more fruity wines meant to be drunk young. It's almost, to me, it's like instead of having this grand statement that, can go a long way and make a big statement. You've got a wine that's light and it's making all these little statements in your mouth. So you're getting, all the fruitiness, you're getting all the acidity, and it keeps changing all the time. So all these like quick hits, these quick explosions in your mouth. That's the way I kind of describe the 2022 vintage now. Now that will change, I'm sure, in the long haul. And that's why I always recommend pick up a couple of bottles, maybe half a case. Hey, push the boat out, buy a whole case and track that wine over the years. As mentioned, a few people just joining us, we are back in the Nahe region. This is Donnhoff, Cornelius Donnhoff, who took over at the estate from his father Helmut back in 2007. This is the Niederhauser Klamm Riesling Kabinett 2022. As mentioned, this is a Grosse Lage. It's a Grand Cru vineyard, one of 10, count them, 10 that the Donnhoff family is currently farming on their 28 hectares. Now, another thing I'll make note of is the Donnhoff family is also a member of the VDP Association. Now, we've mentioned this before. Just going to pan up here. If you look at this wine is bottled under screw cap. And that is the Imperial Eagle of the VDP Association. If you see that on a wine, that means that this winery is a member of a Quality Growers Association. Now, this was formed a number of years back in Germany, and what it does is it looks to preserve the integrity of all the best vineyard sites. They have very, very strict standards. They supersede the quality standards that were brought about in the 1971 wine laws. And really cool as well, too. Every fall they hold auctions, the VDP auctions. We've been there a number of times. And if you've never been, it is incredible. A lot of these wineries make special lots of wines that they reserve only for the auctions. And you'll see them, too, because they'll have a special sticker on the bottles. We've brought some of them back into the market here. Really cool. If you can find them, they're special. You look at the AP numbers on a lot of the wines for the special lots that have been bottled, and they're auction lots. And sometimes when we talk about some of the capsules on the bottles, the gold capsules and the long gold capsules, etc., etc., again, they're special bottlings. And it's just a fabulous thing to participate in. Really, really, really cool. We're glad to be able to bring those in. This might be a good time to talk a little bit about the estate. We mentioned the estate is certified fair and green sustainable. What they do as well, too, is they cover the soil with organic materials like straw and compost to preserve water and to avoid evaporation and erosion. Now, we're going to pull this up in a moment on the Google Earth map, but the Niederhauser Klamm vineyard, what it does, the name itself, it describes the landscape and refers to like a deep cut in the rocks of the mountain. In the vineyard here in this area, these are some of the steepest in the entire Nahe region. You're getting up to about like a 60, 70 degree pitch. The soils are really rich in minerals it's mostly like the porphyry volcanic soil interspersed with slate, of course. All the grapes, of course, are hand-picked. You can't get a tractor there. It's all going to be done by a dedicated picking team. And they're pressed as soon as possible, usually within about 3 hours of picking. They're very, very fast. The wines are fermented in traditional German casks, the 1200-liter Stück and the 2400-liter Doppelstück, with spontaneous fermentations and then aging usually in larger, older barrels. This is probably a good time to pull up the map. This wine, just if you're a scorekeeper, was rated 93 points from Vinous. Always scores highly, the Donnhoff wines. One of the highest rated wineries going. So we are in southwest Germany. So basically, we're about 95 kilometers southwest of Frankfurt. So the Rhine River makes its way north, right about here. And when we get up to about Mainz, it starts to head a little bit west. And right here in Bingen, the northern bank here, this is the Rheingau region, even goes in a little bit. And right here in Bingen, this is where the Nahe River hooks up with the Rhine. And Donnhoff is farming mostly through these towns here, through Norheim, Niederhausen. They're based in Oberhausen, and they're also farming a little bit further west here in Schloss Bockelheim. But for our purposes today, where the Nahe River bends here, this is the Hermannshol vineyard, and then just across the bridge here's where the winery itself is located. And right next door to this here is the Niederhauser Klamm vineyard just in here. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to pull it up. I have something from the VDP Association right here. So there you go. So here's the Hermannshol. And this is marked in red because it's a Grand Cru vineyard. And I'm just going to pull up some photos while I've got it here in shot. A quick second here, if I may. So that gives you an idea there, too. You can see that the vineyards, how steep they get there. As mentioned, this is all volcanic soil with some slate, traces of slate in there as well, going down to the river. This is pretty much a straight southerly exposure. Oh, I'm just going to pan down once more. Gives you an idea as well to the steepness of the vineyard there. That has to all be worked by hand. Check this out as well too. So yeah, there you be. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway. So I think this might be as good a time as any. I'm going to flip the camera around. I've been waiting to try this wine. Yeah, as mentioned, this wine is currently available here in British Columbia. We brought some in as a restricted speculative product. Anyway, hey, I see Hannah Selbach joining us. Good to see you. I'm so glad you could join us. Wow, long time. My goodness, I'm honored to have you here. We bring the Donnhoff wines in through our good friend Johannes Selbach, and we put all of our wines together to bring them here to British Columbia. So yeah, there you be. But yeah, I've been looking forward to trying this wine. I've been nosing it on and off throughout the day. But 2022, as mentioned, I picked up my sample at Marquee Wine Cellars here in Vancouver. So As you can imagine, young wine, very, very, very pale straw color. But man, the bouquet on this already, this just jumps out of the glass. There's just so much citrus happening on here. I'm getting lemon. I'm getting some grapefruit. I'm definitely picking up almost like a bit of blood orange. Definitely got some lemongrass. Got some spice going on here. I'm definitely picking up, that's a neat mixture, almost a little bit like spearmint and bay leaf. Really, really interesting too. And makes my mouth water as well too. A little bit of white flour as well I'm picking up on here too. Let's give it a taste. See what a whopping 8.5% alcohol delivers in terms of flavor concentration. Wow. Really picking up a lot of that citrus right up front. This wine is tart. I'd say medium sweet, quite fruity, but I picked that up again right at the tip of the tongue that washes over mid-palate. It's interesting for such a young, playful wine. I talked about those explosions in the mouth. It's almost like there's like small arrows or something flying through my mouth. So I'll get a little hit of citrus here. I'll get a little hit of spice here. I'll get a little hit of minerality there too. It's going to be interesting to follow a wine like this too, because over the years, this wine will knit together and we'll get more layers of flavor that you can actually keep it in your mouth and drill down on. I'm just going to have one more sip, please. Snap. No way I'm spitting that wine out. Love that. Definitely picking up a little bit of a baking spice note in the back there too. Almost like a little hit of nutmeg. The citrus is still the calling card of this wine at this moment. Definitely picking up almost like a little bit of lemongrass as well. A bit of tart orange on the finish too, but I like that too because it's low alcohol, but it's very mouth-filling with a really good mineral backbone. And it's got a bit of a like a bit of a lingering kind of a saline finish. Yeah. So we are trying the 2022 Niederhauser Klamm Riesling Kabinett from Donnhoff, currently available here in British Columbia, along with a few other wines as well from Donnhoff. We're super, super happy. I think these wines are great friends. We have such a variety of cuisines out here in British Columbia, and there's just so much to experiment with, so many great wines. We're just so happy to be bringing in these wines right now. We've got a great stable of German producers right now in our portfolio. Our good friend Johannes Selbach with Selbach Oster, J&H Selbach, Fritz Haag, Donnhoff. We're still bringing in some older Rieslings from Urzig, from Schwab Keebel, Tony Jost. We're bringing some of their wines in as well too. We've brought in a few wines from Dr. Cruzius as well, also in the Nahe region, a little bit, as well. So some great wines, to be sure. We're very, very proud to bring them in. Back to business. You know, it's a funny time of year right now. We're a week out from Christmas. We still have wines arriving. Hey, our Pinson Chablis has just arrived. We're still clearing customs. I hope to get that out any day now. I know a few of you have been working with that. Our Chateau Canada Bordeaux is back in stock. Our Bordeaux Supérieur from Saint-André de Subsac, 15 kilometers northeast of the city of Bordeaux, the hometown of Jacques Cousteau. That's back on the shelves at BCLDB stores, as is our Chateau d'Arméjean des Ormes, the most popular Sauterne in British Columbia. That's back in stock and right in time for the holidays as well too. Half the price of most BC ice wines, I'll just say. Still waiting on a few things to arrive. We've got a lot of our Loire Bubble Rosé, de Champagny Crémant de Loire Rosé Brut is back, and we got another 220 cases about to arrive. lots of things on the water. Hey, I'm really excited too. Our allocation of Lopez de Heredia, Viña Tondoña from Rioja, the absolute most traditional producer in the Rioja. We're getting another allocation of their wines coming in very shortly. Yeah, if you're interested in any of those, again, drop me a line, DM me, Christian@waldorfwine.com. That's Christian, Christian. Hey, I don't know what's going on. I may have to take a break next week because it's Christmas Day. So, I'm not sure what's happening. We'll see how it goes. Keep up to date. Hey, follow us if you haven't done so, please, on Instagram. It's a good way to keep up to date as to what we're going to be doing. But look, if we do it, love to have you join us. If we don't see you, I wish you all super happy holidays. Stay safe, please. And drink good wine, okay? Like I said, you work hard enough throughout the year. You got to put up with your family. You may as well drink good wine. Anyway, love to all of you. Take care and see you soon. Bye for now.